The primary muscle for palmar abduction is the abductor pollicis brevis. The secondary muscles are opponens pollicis, palmaris longus, and extensor pollicis brevis. A grade of 5 is completes full range of motion with maximal resistance. A grade of 4 is completes full range of motion with moderate resistance. And a grade of 3 is completes full range of motion. So the patient is going to have their forearm in supination with their wrist in neutral and their thumb adducted. The therapist is going to stabilize the metacarpals by placing their hand over the patient's hand with the thumb on the dorsal surface of the hand. This is kind of like a handshake, but you're going to keep the wrist in neutral. When the patient abducts their thumb, you're going to observe any wrinkling of the thenar eminence, and you're going to look for the palmaris longus to pop out. So first, I'm going to ask the patient to please lift your thumb vertically until it points to the ceiling. So this is demonstrating a grade of 3, so complete full range of motion with no resistance. So now I'm going to apply resistance to the lateral aspect of the proximal phalanx. So don't let me push down. This demonstrates a grade of 5, completes full range of motion with maximal resistance. A grade of 2 is completes partial range of motion. For a grade of 1, you're going to palpate the belly of the abductor pollicis brevis in the center of the thenar eminence medial to the opponens pollicis. And for a grade of 0, there's going to be no contractile activity. So for this position, the forearm is going to be in mid position with the wrist in neutral and the thumb relaxed in adduction. The therapist is going to stabilize the wrist in neutral, and the patient is going to abduct their thumb in a plane perpendicular to the palm. So I'm going to ask the patient, try to lift your thumb so it points at the ceiling. So grade of 2 would to complete the partial range of motion. When you're testing the grade of 1, you're going to palpate the belly of the abductor pollicis brevis in the center of the thenar eminence medial to the opponens pollicis.